In this video, I'll try to explain why I think Against All Logic is so popular, what does it have that others don't, and what do I think about the new 2017-2019 album. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. You can go have a look and see what type of music I'm covering, and subscribe for more independent music videos. If there are any Chileans watching this, please let me know in the comments, because all the Chilean people I know are some progressive or classic rock fans. So yeah, Nicolas Jaar and A.A.L are like the only non-rock Chilean artists that I know. So yeah, the guy responsible for Against All Logic is named Nicolas Jaar. He was born in New York, but he's of Chilean origins. And he's my favorite producer right now. I think it's important to get this one straight. And he has been since I first time heard him 6 years ago. It's funny because actually anytime someone asks me how to start listening to jazz, and I know they're into modern music, I tell them try listening to Nicolas Jaar. He doesn't always do that, but he can. He has a gift like no one else to take a jazz song and make an electronic song out of it. He did Mulatu Astatke, Nina Simone, Thelonious Monk, Abdullah Ibrahim, who is a father of Jean Grey, by the way. No, seriously, go listen to his reprise of Ishmael from Abdullah Ibrahim. It will knock you out, I promise. And yes, he uses micro house on those songs, but he feels the climate of jazz. Late night, smoky club, sometimes distortions like in free jazz. For example, the song The Governor, although it starts with some average singing, like some sort of swing, modern swing, ends in more visionary free jazz arrangement than the current day jazz musicians would have imagination and courage for. That's how I think. And at the same time, it's simple. He doesn't overcomplicate things for the sake of sounding avant-garde. Nicolas Jaar is also in big part responsible for the sound of FKA Twigs' album Magdalene, which I actually reviewed here because I obviously liked it a lot. But speaking about the quality of production, I forgot to turn on the microphone myself, so... Okay, so now we finally can move on to Against All Logic. When I've heard the previous album, 2012 to 2017, I thought it's the most traditional, normal out of all the things he's ever done, I've ever heard from him. And I have to say it, every year I hear a lot of decent house or techno albums, that's pretty decent. Even if they're rated low on Radio Music, I think they're better than that. YouTube reviewers who review Jaar's project, do they even review other house techno albums? Not really, not that much, right? Anyway, my conclusion is that people crave quality, but easy on the ear music, and they would accept it only from Nicolas Jaar. I remember I still put that album on my yearly list because I found it incredibly pleasant. However, I was also feeling disappointed because it also did feel lightweight to me in comparison to my imagination of what he should be doing. I guess this was on me, my fault, that I had some projections about him. But here comes this new album, 2017-2019. And do I like it? Do I like it more? Well, yes, I do. The opening track, Fantasy, made me laugh because he took Beyoncé and Sean Paul's old song vocal samples. He made it glitchy. And also dreamy at some point, when he uses some type of a Balearic type of synth, which is a little detail, but it does make it sound a bit more dreamy. The next song with voice sample, If Loving You Is Wrong, he does what I've mentioned here before, except not with a jazz track, but with an old soul track, because it's a song, the original song is from 1972. He makes it sound dark and nostalgic, and yeah, like instead of, let's say, Nina Simone's vocal, he uses this guy's vocal. Now, what makes Nicolas Jaar interesting is how he introduces the IDM elements to the club music, manages to keep things both dark and danceable, and how he's inspired by the whole spectrum of things, from free jazz, through soul and contemporary R&B, to finally an iconic post-punk no-wave performer from New York, Lydia Lunch, whose voice manages to fit as an introduction to the tech house part of this album. Alarm, The First, and The Beginning of Faith are all very energetic, solid piece of, let's say, tech house. And it's this type of stuff that you would really find on these good albums that I say that are coming out every year. But here's what he's doing different than the others. Outro of Faith already is filled with some polyphonic modulated piano sounds, which is not danceable at all. It will actually carry over to Penny, which changes the mood again, because the background layer quickly develops into some high-tempo techno, while the melody is determined by the broken modulated synth again, going for the dreamy effect. Finally, in the closing song You Forever, he disturbs a slow, peaceful melody and short vocals with glitches, which during the last years has been, along with his electronic jazz blending, my favorite techniques used either by him or some other producers. Of course, if it's pretty and climatic enough, but we don't have to worry about beauty when it comes to Jaar. He does have sense of aesthetics. So all in all, even if nothing here is like super original, first time used, invented, he shows a huge variety that comes from his broad musical horizons. He jumps back and forth effortlessly between the genres and ideas, therefore it's not boring and the material is produced with care, high quality and attention to detail. And this album definitely didn't feel lightweight to me. I liked it similarly to how I liked Andy Stott's album last year. I think lately I've been spoiled with a lot of good electronic music and what can I say, give me more.